I think we're still in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Um, just to give us a background of what Beauty Makers Academy is all about. So I'll just be going through the slides, but I will try and summarize it so that we can have the background of what's all about, what brought about Beauty Makers Academy, and what is the next step after today's conference. Okay, now, heart cry. Sorry about it. Let me just move a bit. I'm blocking the slide. Okay then. Now, this is the heart cry. Now, my name is Temitope Oyewole. I know some of you know me, but in case you don't know me, that is my name. Actually, this is the heart cry that actually precipitated the foundation of this academy. It was so strong in my heart, in my time of meditation, was so strong in my heart in my time of prayer. And this is the way it came about. And it was like a lot of my daughters are still suffering from the pain of their past, which is making it difficult for them to live the very life I've designed for them. A lot of my daughters are not healed. All they are living is a borrowed life. A lot of my daughters have placed several limitations before them, which is hindering them from becoming the person I have created them to be. Now, this is just a summary of my profile so that you understand why I'm standing here today. Now, I'm a survivor of these three heart cries that we've just seen in the last slide. Have gone through pains that ensued from health issues, abuse as a child, painful relationship breakup. This actually placed quite a number of limitations on me, and I started living what I call a borrowed life, just to please all and displease myself, just because I wanted to feel loved, I wanted to feel wanted, I wanted to feel appreciated. But thank God I found great help in God, and things have definitely improved. I'm happily married now and blessed with children, and I'm a career woman and entrepreneur and a publisher, blah, blah, blah. Now, but then God said, yes, I've done a lot of work in your own life, but that is not the end of it. He said, I am not done yet. I want you to help others as well with the same help you've received from me. So hence the reason for Beauty Makers Academy. Now, I'll just summarize it. It's an academy that is running with a mission to raise and empower women so they can adorn the world with God's beauty. And the mission is all summed up in Isaiah 62, verses 1 to 3. If you read it all down there, this is what God, the transformation that God wants to do in the life of his children through Beauty Makers Academy. He wants to bind the brokenhearted. He wants to proclaim liberty to the captives. He wants to open the prison doors to those who are bound. And he wants to give beauty for ashes to those who are mourning. He wants to give oil of joy for mourning, a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, so that they can be called the trees of righteousness and he can be glorified in their life. Now, God doesn't want to stop at that. He wants to do the transformation, and he wants to raise up these beauties to now go out and raise other beauty makers for himself. So as a beauty maker, the duty you have is to go out, like in verse 4 and 6. He said, and they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations. They shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. So that is what the beauty makers that are raised up will go out and do in the life of others and raise up more beauty makers. So it's a case of multiplication and expansion. So now, like I said, it's an academy to raise an army of females that have gone through different walks of life, either suffering from the pains of their past, shackles of regrets and hurts, living a life of fear, lack of self-confidence, loss of purpose, or any other limiting factors, and then transforming them into God's beauty so they can beautify the world with his glory. Now, these are the three transformation stages that we are praying and we're trusting God that will be the outcome of any member of this academy. To be lifted, our souls need to be lifted, our minds needs to be healed. To be loosed, the minds needs to be free from every captivity of the past, pains and regret. And then lastly, to be located. When you're lifted in your spirit, your mind is renewed. Now you need to walk into God's purpose for your life. So you need to be located and begin to take dominion in all areas of your life. Now, this is the framework of Beauty Makers Academy. What I mean by framework is aspects that we will be touching on. That's spiritual growth and development, purpose, physical well-being, emotional healing and mental well-being, relationships, applicable to singles and married, home and children rearing, career and business startup and development, and of course, ministry. And this is the channels through which we'll be doing the empowerment, through books, write-ups, music, teachings, online training and live conferences like this, and of course, prayer. So what is next after today? Now, after today, we want to keep engaging with you through using other various media, online webinar platforms for workshops, so you don't have to travel down, where there'll be teachings, testimonies, fellowship, prayers, online courses that you can run at your own pace, face group engagements. Currently, we already have a face group. It's called Beauty Makers Academy. So you can always note this out and request to join the group. And then a yearly live conference. Sorry about this mic. Am I moving away from? Okay, sorry. A yearly live conference, and that'll be once in a year. The next one will be 2019. And of course, retreats. So now the next step now, you've been given a form when you came in. So on that form, on the front sheet of the form, we would like you to indicate your interest if you want to be a part of this academy by filling your basic details, and most importantly, giving us the consent to keep your details. That's very important, so that we can get in touch with you. So there's a box there you can tick. You need to tick that box for us to be able to keep your details. And then the second section is, now, apart from becoming a member of the academy, if you know that through the framework I've listed, you know God have given you a ministry in any of those frameworks, and you want to be a part of this academy as a facilitator to do one or two things in any of this framework, you know it's your ministry, you know it's your line of expertise. You can also indicate on that form as a facilitator by giving up your details. That's your name, address, and contact phone number. Of course, giving us a consent so that we can contact you. So, but if you also want to be a member and a facilitator at the same time, you can fill both sections. So now, thank you for listening. But for more information and further inquiries, this is my number. The website is under construction. And so you can check that anytime soon. So that's just background about what Beauty Makers Academy is about. And I hope that we will get forms submitted and filled, indicating your interest to be a member of the academy or a facilitator. Thank you very much for listening.